The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots. Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
Hey, wasn't ready for that. Way to go.
Cowboys.
Yeah, make us forget all about last Sunday. The words are very peculiar, but, you go, it grows on you. Don't forget those senior team. Senior pro. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Nothing like those senior pros.
Wouldn't you like to be the orchestra conductors?
Oh, yeah, man. I can see him now.
It's like the old Lawrence Welk show.
That's right, man. That's right.
Where are the bubbles? Where are the bubbles?
A 1 and a 2 and a 3, and it's time for not Talking Cowboys. It is Mick Shots, the original Talking Cowboys, here inside the SWBC podcast studio.
We are way too old for our listeners.
And we are starting fast and furiously finishing on a fabulous football Friday here.
I just want to let you know that when I meet people out, fans, they appreciate us being able to go old school with them.
That's good.
With them.
That's good.
Right?
With them.
Hey, every fan is not 30 years old, okay?
We're just hoping there's a few of you out there that are 60 and
Just
over.
a few to keep us afloat.
And football team was on the field. They just walked off the field on a Friday where they do mock game situations.
Mock games sound better than a walkthrough.
Just walkthrough. Yeah, just call it a walkthrough.
All right.
But, boy, they ran off the field.
They couldn't
Guys
wait
were
till
very
for
energetic,
Friday
weren't they?
night.
It's Friday.
Don't say that. Back in the day, that was not a good thing, okay? You never know who might show up on Saturday morning late.
Maybe that's
Or not at all.
that's the real reason why they do more on Saturday than on Friday.
Exactly.
You know?
Absolutely. It's like, and you don't, we talked about it. You don't take that break where Saturday you do nothing.
Right.
And then Sunday
lose
it's
the
like,
edge.
I got to remember everything, right?
It's been muscle memory as well.
Yeah.
Muscle memory as well. You want to make sure that those muscles are ready to go. You don't want to give 2 days off.
Right.
But the main reason it's more of a self-imposed curfew on Friday night.
Well, I mean, think about it because, when they would have the last practice on Friday, they would finish at 1:30, 2 in the afternoon. And it was like school got let out.
Then they're off to the Cowboys Cafe for happy hour on Friday.
What's wrong with the Cowboys Sports Cafe? That's my spot, man. Come on. I was expecting you guys.
I was there.
I was there waiting on you. Where you been?
That was my.
What took you so long?
That was my Friday beer after the week was done, right?
That's funny.
All right, so here we are, and questions to be answered, getting set for the Lions on Sunday at noon. And what's top of mind for you, Mickey?
Dak Prescott's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yes.
If you want to go ahead and go with it.
If you want to go with it, as Mike McCarthy said.
Go for it. If you want to get ahead of the particulars that they, in his mind, go
The best was yesterday when they asked Dak, can you show us your thumb? It was for TV purposes, right? So he gave him the thumbs up, just like this, right? And it's like, was there a scar there? No, I don't see anything. He said, yes, I am. when they asked him.
Oh
if
yeah,
he's starting.
it sounded like he was Jesus or something.
Yeah.
I am.
I am.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, sir. A little bit overly dramatic, but yeah, good to see you.
But he did qualify it with as much as I know.
See, that Hamilton Park First Baptist Church has paid off. For
I am.
Right.
And by the way,
beat into your head.
By the way,
man.
if you're headed to Hamilton Park Baptist Church on Sunday morning, you got to hope that the preacher gets done to get you home by noon.
Man.
It is a noon kickoff. off. It's old school. You talk about old school. There
we
we
would
go.
just resign ourselves back in the day. Like, okay, we'll be home at halftime. We'll be home at halftime. And if the preacher gets too happy, like, oh, man, third quarter. Whoo.
Now you can watch online.
Yeah.
They might even have Saturday services.
God,
So there
could
you
you
go.
imagine if we had cell phones back then? I'd be watching my direct TV
Yeah,
line.
so you can do it. You can watch at the stadium on as you watch the Cowboys play at noon. All right. So
Yes. Other than Dak.
yeah. All right. Bring us up to speed as we start fast here.
So CeeDee Lamb, good to go. He's listed as full. He said yesterday no problems with the hip, so he's good to go. As a matter of fact, other than Let's Go listed as limited, which might as well have been out, everybody on the Cowboys injury report is listed as full participation on Thursday, which is their main heavy workload padded practice. Looks like Let's Go is going to need surgery. The shoulder sublexed again, and this is like the third time once in college.
Sublex.
Yeah, it goes out and comes back in.
Yeah.
And then he did it in training camp, and that's what caused him to miss basically the rest of training camp. And he was hoping that if they put a harness on it, he could get through the rest of the season. And then it happened again. I guess in practice this week or whenever. And so they've decided that, look, you got to have this done. So they're not announcing it yet. They haven't set up the surgery schedule yet, but that looks like what's going to take
When you have
place.
that dislocated shoulder, like you're in what's the Mel Gibson movie where he kept popping it in and out of, you have guys that really have those issues.
Right.
I mean, it goes in and out. Now they'll just go in and out. It's extremely painful to go in and out.
Or to go back in.
If I'm not, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, God, I'm getting so old. I can't remember if this was Grambling or Cowboys early days. Guy was laying on his back because it went out, and they taped a weight. And then he laid down and they let it drop. Yeah, and that's what he did. Yes, that was. I mean, it was really that bad because I think they kept trying to do it. With help.
Like massage it in?
Yeah, try to put, but then they just kind of like, and boy, he screamed.
Let's hope that was Grambling,
I
medical.
think that was Cowboys, man. Oh, no, I can't remember now, but I just remember like, wow, man, where are we?
That sounds like Dr. Knight
am I in the
era.
Philippines or something?
The Dr. Knight era, right? Where the guys were scared to have him do anything to their knees.
Well, after a while, he couldn't practice in this area. They had to drive to Munster because he didn't have any qualifications here in the Texas area, in the Dallas area. So, yeah, it could have been the Cowboys. It could have been the Cowboys.
Dr. Marvin Knight put Munster on the map.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
he did.
So that's a real thing.
Munster?
Yeah. No, Dr. Knight. Because I just heard the story.
No, he's a real person.
Yeah, I know he's but I didn't know that no one wanted him to do surgery.
Well, no, that's correct.
I don't know anything about
that. The medical community did not want him to do it. That's why he didn't have any qualifications here in this area. So it wasn't just guys didn't want to go. No, the medical community said no.
No, can't do it.
You can't do it. Yeah, Dr. Knife.
Dr. Knife. And looking at Detroit's injury update, DeAndre Swift is still listed as limited. The main thing is his shoulder. And he said, I'm making progress. So take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
See, largest tour group ever to come through the star has just made its way
here. And I see a bunch of people our age. They would enjoy Lawrence Welk.
They got cowboy jerseys on.
Put the show on outside.
That's one of the great things about Friday, and tours are available for you, and you come in for the game on a home game.
And you can see us working in progress. It sounds like when you show up for the stadium, right?
That's right.
Welcome to AT&T Stadium.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to the great state fair of Cowboys. I missed my calling there.
Man.
That's right.
That was it, bro.
Yep, that's it.
You could have been Big Tex.
I could have. Mm-hmm. Would you like some breaking news from Arlington?
Yes.
The Texas Rangers have hired a new manager, Bruce Bochy.
I had a feeling.
I heard that name before.
He's won 3 World Series titles in his past. So
San Diego? Was that last?
well, and
Or with Giants?
yeah, let me read through the bio here on Mr. Bochy. He's been both places.
Okay.
That's too wordy. John Blake, you got to figure out how to write a
Get right
press
to
release.
it, right?
Two words.
25 years with San Diego and San Francisco.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
All right.
And he was the one they had an unofficial visit with or something. Maybe
Chris
now
Young,
it's-
the new GM,
Yeah.
who's been there a year or so,
So he
played
would've
for him.
played
There's
for
the
him, right?
connection.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
So it was when they made the move in August, Bruce Bochy was at the top of the list, and it comes to fruition. Speaking of San Francisco, what do you think of the trade that was made last night as Christian McCaffrey is now a San Francisco
that,
49er going from the Carolina Panthers?
What's Carolina doing?
They're getting rid of everybody.
Giving up. They're calling it a day.
They're
Calling
collecting
it
draft
a
picks.
But this isn't like baseball where you sell off in August because you're not going to go to the playoffs.
Wow.
This is football. McCaffrey's, I mean, he's still good, isn't he? He's been a little injury prone.
And he's
They
under
did
contract
him
through
a favor.
25.
They did him a favor. by
Right?
allowing him to
no
leave.
doubt.
Well,
Yes.
they did San Francisco a favor because when they restructured his contract, the base salary for this year was, which they're on the books for, was only $1 million.
That made him tradable.
And then the rest of it is not guaranteed. He's got 3 more years on it. So even if this doesn't work out, they could just say, okay, bye. We're not covering. I think I read he had like 36 more million left on the deal, something to that effect. So, I mean, that's like giving the guy away. And did it ever come out what they got for him?
Here, let's see. I'm finding the specifics. All right. Here's a list of what they've picked up in the 2 trades for McCaffrey and Robbie Anderson, who went to Arizona. They now have an extra 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round pick in the 2023, the upcoming draft. Extra 5th and 6th round picks in 24, and an extra 7th in 2025. So essentially, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks in 2023 are the McCaffrey and the 5th. So it was 4 picks that they gave up. Here we go. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round picks in 2023, and a 5th round pick in 24.
So
that's why they're doing it. Is they obviously need to rebuild the team, and that's one of the guys that they could move. That's their Herschel Walker trade.
you could basically put the
that is.
talent of all those picks together, and it won't match up to him. I mean, you got a good player. What are you going to build with? Bad players? I don't get it.
Okay, let's put it in Cowboys terms. Because the 49ers basically will be picking in the 20s, wherever they,
Right.
They're going to, Cowboys were 24th last year. It's the equivalent of, in this last draft for the Cowboys, sending Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, and Jake Ferguson to the Panthers in exchange for Christian McCaffrey. That's what the 49ers did, plus a
If they
5th
draft
round,
that
plus a
well.
5th round pick, say a Deron Bland. Okay, so
Right.
there are 4 players that you can with those values. Sam Williams, is it worth it to send Sam Williams, Jalen Tolbert, Jake Ferguson, and Deron Bland to Carolina for Christian McCaffrey?
Probably so.
You put Sam Williams in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what you're
But
looking
you
at.
don't get a first.
And if you're Carolina, especially, you're
But now you're assuming they can draft that well.
well, yeah.
Well, that's up to them. Nobody. They don't go into deals thinking, oh well, if we don't draft well, then it's all off.
And they don't know who the head coach is.
No.
Do they know the GM?
Because
they
already did Matt Rule a favor and got rid of him.
Right.
So he can make his money and not have
$40 million, baby. I'm chilling over here.
And the GM, is he still there, or is he making these decisions?
I guess. Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Carolina has 7 picks in the first 5 rounds of next year's draft. So
in the first 5 rounds. Okay.
First 5 rounds.
How many top 100 picks do they have? First, second, and third? 5?
4. They've got 1 first, 2 seconds, and a third.
But they don't
And
have
they
their,
got 2
they don't
fours.
have their own third then.
They have Niners third. Yes, they have Niners. Niners
they don't have
third
their
ones,
own. They
yeah.
have the Niners.
Well, I can't worry.
That's the big thing is the top 100 picks, in my opinion.
Can't worry about their problems.
Yeah. Although, I'm going to pose this question for you.
Who you trading?
No.
Oh,
All right.
thought you were going to play like bar games.
What have the Niners done here? And we're going to think about it during the break and come back. Okay. The Niners have just acquired a guy that they think is going to put them over the top. When they look at the landscape of their division, what's happening with the Rams this year, what the Rams did last year by picking up Von Miller and Beckham, to put them over the top. So the Niners think that they're doing it by picking up McCaffrey here. Is there a position for the Cowboys that if they were to make a move, and I'm not talking about compensation, if you could add a player to a position group on the Cowboys here in the next couple of weeks leading up to the trade deadline that could give them a decided advantage going forward, especially coming off the Eagles game last week, what position would that be when we come back here on Mick Shots?
Good question.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
What do you call a group of grown men and women with their faces painted silver and blue who get together every week to share a 3-hour-long ritual of jumping, singing, and toasting Miller Lite in 10-gallon hats while yelling, "How about them Cowboys?" You call it Miller Time in Dallas. Here's to the Cowboys. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. From corporate homes to your home, have your roof checked by choice, not by chance. Call now, 214-225-4860, kpostcompany.com.
All right, before we get to our question that I just posed, Everson, did you see the game last night?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
What did I miss?
Cardinals and the Saints.
Well, here's what you missed.
Tell me what I missed.
Game's going very well for the Saints. And then Andy Dalton gets intercepted back-to-back possessions, was it?
Yeah, that is exactly right.
Back-to-back possessions
that I did see.
for pick sixes.
25-point second quarter for Arizona.
I blinked, and it was 14-6.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, it was 28-14.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep.
And he had already been intercepted in the end zone when they were at the, 10-yard line.
He didn't do that here. I don't recall him.
Well,
doing
one of
anything
the passes should have been a completion. It bounced off his guy's hands. The one in the end zone.
I saw some bad passes.
That was a bad decision.
Yeah, bad. That was just bad. Yeah, the highlights showed how bad it was.
And then the greatest GIF of all time happened. Did you see that, Bill?
I wasn't paying attention.
The GIF?
No.
I'm going to send it to you, okay?
Please.
The GIF. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you
Andy-
meant like a Christmas gift.
No, not a gift.
No. Okay.
A GIF.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm in this century, Chris.
So, yes.
Oh, you mean the little argument on the sideline?
No, not that one. So, hey, Everson, just look up Andy Dalton GIF this morning, and you'll probably probably the number one trending right now.
Okay. Well,
is it the angle?
Yes,
I saw
You've
that.
seen it, right?
I've seen
Where
it.
he's
yes.
walking off the field, and
slow
the guy is,
motion, and the guy's diving into the end zone in the background.
I saw that.
Like he was jumping into a pool.
Marco Wilson.
It was
flying behind his head for a touchdown.
It was all Dalton's failures right there behind him. Yeah, it was all behind him.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, and so Mickey mentioned the argument on the sideline, Kyler going at Kingsbury.
I saw it. It was like, what are they doing? And he's yelling at him.
Yeah. I love seeing that.
Helmet off, you can see the lips and everything.
You can read the lips.
You can read them.
He just said, "Please calm down."
Yeah. And I like Kingsbury's response. I'm emotional. I show my emotions. That's what his retort was afterwards, I guess.
I like that out of Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
You know, he's always been he's more of a stoic guy, you know, and although you can tell when he hates losing, hates losing, hadn't done much of it in his life until now, and I think I'd love seeing that out of him in that situation.
Well, his game is so frantic. You know, so
right.
when you see him out there, I mean, it is. You see him out there, it's like everything is a sense of urgency. But then when he always comes to the sideline, he's so genteel, you know, and just in control, you would think. But when you start losing, once again, we always are losing and winning, you know, so certain things show up.
And so my question was going to be to Everson, have you ever had a moment in your career where you wanted to go off on a coach like that?
I did, yeah. I was still a rookie. God, we were still in training camp, and Drew Pearson was killing me. I mean, killing me. We had to play a certain position where we had to stay inside. Man, that Drew is something else. I never could. I mean, I was right there several times, and I just couldn't make the play. I mean, I was right there. It was so frustrating. And so here comes Gene Stallings, and he wants to make an example of, you know, this. You know how coaches are. And I knew what it was all about. They want to come up and light a fire up on you because this is their moment to see if you're going to make or break. And he goes, "Son, I just don't think you good enough to play this game." Boy, oh my goodness. The next words out of my mouth, man. Wow, you just don't. And to Gene's credit, he came right back at me. So, no, it was a moment.
So y'all went at it.
Oh, yeah. We were. I mean, it was something he expected. I think if I didn't come back at him,
he would
come back in the first place, he would have been disappointed. So that was a moment to where he kind of, you know, got on my nerves on purpose. And just he wanted to check me a little bit to see what I had in me. And, boy, yeah, that was.
You had it in you.
I had it in me. And I don't even want to mention Jimmy Johnson's deal. Yeah, because that's a whole nother deal. That lasted a whole lot longer because that corridor at Arizona Stadium is long to the locker room.
Yes. Way long.
Way long. And we only got separated by Eugene Lockhart and Farrell, the running back, were hugging each other, walking down their corridor. And we separated and got right back in each other's faces as soon as we passed them. So, yeah, I've had my moments.
You didn't have DeAndre Hopkins come up and put your arm around your shoulder?
No, I did not.
Down.
So, Mickey, you understand that I was baiting Everson into Arizona.
Yeah,
Everson
you
just didn't know about the Stalling.
He detoured to Gene Stallings, and all this time I was trying to get to Sun Devil Stadium. Stadium.
I didn't want to get to Sun Devil Stadium. That was the beginning of the end of a great relationship. Not.
I'm just proud to say I was there.
Man, were you?
Not on that walkthrough, but that walkway.
If you would have done that, you would have run out of paper. You would have been like,
and then he said this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy.
All right, if there's one position on this Cowboys team where they could improve, like the Niners think that they are doing by acquiring Christian McCaffrey, what position would that be?
I'm going to go first because I was going to say what Chris said.
Chris Beam, our
producer
Supreme.
Supreme, was right on. He said wide receiver. And I was going to be a little bit more specific. Just go back and get Amari Cooper, man. Just bring him back. That's all. Just bring him back. You never should have gotten rid of him. I'm sorry.
So you don't think James Washington will make up that difference?
I don't know what James Washington can do, but I know what Amari Cooper has already done. And that's what I would go on. So just let you know I'm still not happy with that.
Well, I'm gonna yeah. That guy's probably not available.
And he is still balling. Right? He is still balling. Top 10s every week.
You know, by process of elimination, that's probably it. I can't think of what else that they would just absolutely need.
Which is a luxury for the Cowboys.
Right.
But
we don't need.
It is interesting. You bring up James Washington. Okay, so here's a guy that within the next month, let's say, is going to be back.
I will predict he'll be back by the time they get back from the bye.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know, Cavante Turpin is another one as a gadget guy, a guy who we'll see how he develops as you go along here.
Time to put the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they tried to do it in Philly, but, it was kind of predictable. We had already fallen back by a couple of scores.
Oh, when they did
and they tried some
jet sweep.
Thing. Yeah, it just.
No, they need to try it again.
Well, you need to do it in a more opportune time.
Yeah.
At that time, you knew we were desperate, and they were waiting on something. When he came in the game, I'm sure, okay, here he is, guys. Something's coming. I'm sure they saw that. But other than that, I don't even think he had many offensive plays. It was kind of predictable.
No.
It was kind of predictable. It was very predictable. You knew they were coming to him when he came in the game. Back in Bergner, all I had was a end around. And when I came in the game, because I wasn't a starting receiver, when I came in the game, they knew what I was going to run. Mm-hmm. Hey, he's in. The guy's in. Here he comes. They're waiting on me over there. So
it's like when Dion played offense. Okay,
he's a little bit better.
Something's gonna.
He was a little bit better.
He had 2 plays.
Who did? Cavante did?
Yeah. On offense.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you can dictate getting the ball in his hands. When you're a returner, there's too many other variables that are involved with getting the ball in your hands. Maybe throw him a smoke screen or something.
It's just got to be, the timing has to be there.
Or
you don't want to be predictable.
Just go.
That's all it is. You don't want to be predictable.
Just go. Go down the field. See what happens. It's 3rd and long. Better than a punt.
Can you do some of that with Tony Pollard?
I don't know if he. So
has what we're getting at is
that straightaway speed,
and the ability.
He's good to do this,
and the ability to judge the ball,
and then judge the ball that far downfield.
That far downfield. I mean, it sounds elementary, but there's a little something to it. Wide receivers are good at it. They make it look easy. You don't see many running backs doing that.
Because they learn to run on their toes, right?
There you go.
But especially coming off the game against the Eagles and what we saw, what the Eagles cornerbacks were doing, and just trying to come up with a difference maker that can, for the second half of the season, that can put this offense over the top.
The play calls can be a difference maker.
Well, and then the only problem is 20 or 30 yards down the field, can you see somebody my size? He's 5'6", guys, 5'7". I mean, he's 5'7".
He better be wide open.
Yes. He better be waving his hand up there. Hey, throw it to me.
Who do you think, Bill? What do you think we need?
No,
Bill?
I agree with you and with Producer Supreme. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's what's needed for this offense. Something that will, and I don't know what's out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could, as fans, you could go scour the rosters of the Carolina Panthers, other teams that have one win or whatever, and see who might be available there. In free agency, Odell Beckham is still out there.
I don't see a wide receiver though out there that could make a difference on this team.
Right.
We still have good players. I'm kind of mad at CD a little bit. He's got to really pick up his intensity during the ball game, but I mean, we still have a good group.
The Ravens just signed Deshaun Jackson.
I know. Well, to me, that's desperation.
Yeah.
That's desperation.
I thought he said he retired.
Yeah, well, when you start going after retired guys, you're a little
right. And at 35 years old now, if it was 5 years ago, that would be one. A type like that. Would be one.
His attitude is just a little bit
right.
too lackadaisical for me.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
So we've got a very complete team here.
Yeah.
We really do.
Adding a quarterback this week. Mm-hmm. You've added a wide receiver.
That tells you, too, that you've liked what's going on aside from Micah Parsons as far as a pass rusher goes, because obviously the big move the Rams made last year with Von Miller, and that's not the
Buffalo made
top,
this year,
yeah,
right?
Right. So,
although they paid dearly for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically
literally
talking about trying to find a rent-a-player for a year, or for how many games are left? 10?
And the Rams may be paying dearly for winning that Super Bowl last year. What they gave up for Miller. I mean, they had nothing in the draft, basically, and now they've got all these injuries, and see where they are now as far as the depth on their roster.
Yeah, they can't add.
Yeah, and with the money that they are spending on several players.
Which is everybody. How do the Rams do it? Yeah. Well, here's how they're doing it.
Now they're paying the price.
Right.
And I thought Von Miller was crazy for leaving during the offseason. He knew exactly what he was doing.
And then he got more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Somebody gave him some good advice.
All right. Our picks to click and who wins on Sunday at noon between the Cowboys and the Lions in a moment.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
The season is finally here. For months, we've been gearing up to win. Now it's time for the team that performs on any field, United Ag and Turf. With John Deere Zero Turns for mowing, compact tractors for loading, mini excavators for digging, Gator utility vehicles for hauling, implements for grading, hay tools for baling. United Ag and Turf, for winning. The official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com for more. Back to Mick Shots.
NFL Plus is here, which means no matter where you are, this is how you football. Get live, local, and primetime regular season and postseason games on your phone, your tablet, game replays, and more. Go to plus.nfl.com and start your free trial of NFL Plus today.
NFL Plus. That's new.
And it's very valuable, too. You use your NFL Plus all the time, don't you?
As long as I got a tablet.
Here comes a Mick rant. A Mick shot coming.
No.
Okay. No Mick shot coming.
It says they didn't underline it, but it says on your phone or tablet.
Okay. All right. But you want it on your computer, though, don't you?
Or my TV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Mick, you could probably put it on your tablet, and then you can connect your tablet to your TV.
Yeah, but who wants to do all of that?
But guess what?
I'm sorry.
Some of those services don't let you Chromecast.
All right. Here's a problem I ran into last night, and maybe it's because
you don't have Amazon Prime.
No. I'm watching Amazon Prime. I'm watching the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I wanted to hit my last channel and go to the baseball game.
Can't do it. I almost did it, and I go,
and I'm sitting there going,
I can't do it.
No, wait a second. Now I got to go get out of Prime and go over here to my cable to go watch the baseball. I got to make like
and
5
by the time
moves.
that thing circles for 5 minutes.
That's the problem with this.
No, here's what you do.
We got to watch a game on your tablet.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, you got to have two different.
You got to have. That's what I did. I had a game on my.
But
I do that, and my wife looks at me and goes, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "I'm watching both."
You're watching everything.
Okay, so that means you're on Twitter on your phone, and you're using your tablet for the football game, and
the regular TV for
regular
the
TV to go in between
I've got
the
TBS
baseball game and the Allen Denton Geyer High School game.
There you
go. That's a problem, though.
See, when
for this Amazon Prime, that's the problem.
You got to have multiple TVs. Mm-hmm. You need to do one of those decks when you build your new house.
I have wanted to do that. I want like 4.
Yeah,
four screens.
I'm all over that.
Yeah.
The problem is my boss is not all over that.
Well, your boss can have you put it in the.
You know what we did? You know what she did?
Room.
You know what she approved? She approved me putting a TV out on the patio. And so I have to go out and sit on the patio.
That's why she approved it, because that's your place.
That's
only.
right. That's right. I'm on the patio, and so the NFL playoffs roll around, and it's 20 degrees outside, and I'm on the patio watching an NFL playoff game while she's watching whatever she's watching inside.
I just go upstairs, but I used to go outside. My good friend, he built his house just recently, and he made it so in their great room, there's a big bookshelf or entertainment shelf, and he made room for 2 TVs, and one's his and one's hers.
No, they can't be next to each other.
Oh, yeah, because he'll listen to his on his headset.
Oh, man, that's too much. That's too much.
It's Bluetooth.
I can't go to another room because there are 4 people in my house.
All the rooms
are taken. I got to go upstairs.
All right.
Let's
Cowboys,
get back.
Lions.
Yes.
Pick to click. Pick to click.
All right. I'm always first, so I'm going to go on this one. I think the Lions are going to they're going to play a very aggressive game, and I think we'll play a pretty conservative game. I don't look for us to still go over 30 points in the game itself. I think Dak is going to, worst case scenario, he'll come out and be pretty methodical.
He needs a couple possessions to kind of move into it.
Exactly. And I'm hoping those possessions don't take too long. But I look for us to score about 28 points. I think our defense is going to be strong. Their offense is still very good. They're going to eke out 17 points on us, so I see us winning 28-17. I think it's going to be a very methodical game for us.
We're all going to pick the same pick to click. I can feel it.
No,
okay.
You're not.
Okay.
This is a game where your more solid receiver is going to have a good game. Brown is going to have 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
All right.
You've
gone that way before.
Not over 100 yards. But I see 2 touchdowns.
Okay. Noah Brown it is.
I am worried and maybe they can dispel my worries with this game about them running the football on the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that Parsons said yesterday is that last drive, or not their last drive, the drive after the Cowboys
game-winning, clinching drive,
still stings. The last sentence in my column for today is going to be "Remember the sting."
Mm-hmm. That's a good one,
because they're going to try to run. And I was listening to Dan Campbell on one of his press conferences, and he said, "We have to stay out of 3rd and 7s." He goes, "We cannot let them rush our quarterback the way they rush." He said they're almost impossible to stop because they've got so many people. And so that means we've got to run the football. Well, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. They run the football. Now the Cowboys have got to answer the bell that they can stop the run.
This is back-to-back. They got teams that are going to run and keep the third down short.
4 of the 6 teams they've played have rushed for at least 89 yards. The other 3 others are 100 and more, 142.
Mm-hmm.
They got to show that they can shut down the run. And it's coming, and especially if DeAndre Swift is healthy and can play.
And
although
we were worried about the run up
Jamal
the middle.
Williams,
we were worried about the run up the middle, but we've been getting
on the outside.
On the outside,
right?
Yeah.
And they've been getting. They don't set the edge because they're such in a hurry to run. Now, was it an odd thing because of who they played with RPOs with Jalen Hurts? We'll find out because this is more of a standard running game, right? And you mentioned yesterday one of the stats. They had to go back to 1991 when Barry Sanders was running the football for them, that they've reached that height in their running game.
Mm-hmm.
So I got 26-19 for the Cowboys. I do think
you come with these numbers.
I think there's going to be a lot of field goals.
4 field goals.
A lot of field goals. Cowboys. Yeah, a lot of field goals for them too.
Could be.
4 field goals for both teams.
Yes, I'm going to have 8 field goals.
That would be a departure for Dan Campbell. Let me tell you that.
Because they've scored.
No, because he goes for it on 4th down all the time.
Right.
And in fact, I went back and looked at their game against the Patriots. They lost that game 29-0. And if you go through that entire game, they had a red zone interception, they had another fumble that was returned 59 yards for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go through that game, and if they would have taken care of the football and kicked a field goal instead of going for it on 4th down on every one of their possessions when they were in field goal range, that game would have been 19-15 with 2 minutes to go in the game, and the Lions have the football. I mean, you go through the play-by-play. If they just do that, and I don't want to give Dan Campbell any advice on how to coach this game, but if he just
did,
and he's listening,
of course,
because
all of Detroit is listening.
All
to us
of Glen
right
Rose, Texas, listens to Mick Shots.
Hello out there, Glen Rose.
And you go back to their Minnesota game. They had a 24-14 lead on Minnesota in the 4th quarter. And then they went for it on 4th down. They turned it over on downs, and they fumbled again. And the Vikings came back and won the game 28-24.
2 touchdowns.
If they just let the game come to them, like what Tom Coughlin used to do with the Giants against the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
To support your point about New England, they had 17 first downs. They had 312 total yards and 211 passing, and they did rush for 100 yards in that game, but they didn't score any points.
That's right. Yeah, and prior to that, first 4 games of the year, they averaged 35 points a game.
Spags, give me your click, man. What's up? I'm writing this stuff down. I got the score, 26-19.
It's going to happen. This is the game that it's going to happen. Cavante Turpin.
There you go. Turpin time.
Okay. And I'm going with, DeAndre Swift DeAndre Swift for the Lions.
We can't get Swift or
He averages 8.6 yards of carry.
Yes.
Tony Pollard's going to average 8.6 yards a carry this game.
Oh.
Tony Pollard, if you look at, you go back to the Giants game, he had over 100 yards rushing. Washington, he was only 8 carries, 6 yards. Against the Rams, he was 8 carries, 80-something yards. Last week, he was 11 for 44, so he's back up this week.
He's going to go to the house?
Yes, he'll take it to the house and 100-yard rushing day. Against
rushing.
How do they rank defensively against the rush?
I don't know about the rush, but they're 32nd.
They're horrible.
They're 32nd.
Yeah, they're horrible overall,
Yeah.
They may be 32nd against the run.
So, wait, give me a score, Bill.
And I'm going to go 24-16.
Yeah, I thought you'd go low. 24-16?
Yep, 24-16.
You go low.
32nd in both categories.
I can go higher if you'd like.
Nah, I think that's good. I want, my ego wants Dak to get out there and just be like, oh, it's just like old times. Nope, it's not going to be that.
Okay.
I do not think. I think they're going to, like most teams this year, they're going to struggle throughout the first half, and hopefully the defense will assert their dominance and put the offense in good position to score.
And don't forget our location for our appearance tomorrow has changed. You remember?
No. Talk to me.
Do the fans need to know this?
Yes, they do.
Yes, the fans.
Hold
We're
on.
usually
Let me
at
see
the
what I have here.
We're usually at the Omni.
I see Renaissance.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Legacy West.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Just didn't want them
My man.
hanging out to
I got the
myself,
address right here, buddy. I got the Renaissance.
Well, you can't miss it. It's pretty big.
There you go. Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
All right. So there you go.
That's it. What a fun Friday.
It was.
Oh, that's my Mick Shots title. Fun Friday.
There you go.
Or Friday Fun. Which guys do you like
Fun
better?
Friday.
Fun
We got
Friday. Okay.
All right, and we will talk at you again on Monday.
And according to us, it'll be a 5-2 team.
A victory Monday.
Yes.
Go Cowboys.
Go! Go! Dallas Cowboys!
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!